Welcome back to Swans Cast, everyone, where we come, I was going to say live on deadline day, but this isn't live, but maybe you'll be watching it on deadline day, maybe it'll be just after, and you actually know more about what's happened than we do at this current moment in time. I think it's like just gone 8 o'clock and nothing exciting has happened, so pretty standard, I guess, of recent transfer deadline days for us, but there is potential that something might happen, and it could be negative, to be fair. Overall, but it could be good, but who knows? Obviously, everyone knows Obafemi is being courted by Burnley, but we'll discuss a little bit more about that in the video. I'm joined by Lee today, so welcome, Lee. I know you're busy at the moment doing more revision, but
and work.
Hopefully, the Swans isn't too depressing to talk about for you, and you can still revise afterwards. Appreciate you coming.
I was a little bit better after last night.
Surprised because we bottled it again. They're usually on one after that sort of thing.
Yeah, we've come to expect it these days, and I don't. Well, I don't know. It was a bit of a funny one because we played so well. I think we played better in that game than we have in other games. Even the Millwall one, game. I think we were good. Yeah, I think we were good.
Okay.
It felt a little bit different, but we'll sink into it.
So if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. Really helps us out. We're trying to get to 500 and then 1,000, hopefully thereafter. We're going to do a giveaway at 500, so we're nearly there. I think we need just under 50 to go. We're going to give away a Swans top, so click the big red subscribe button to help be part of the giveaway, and then we'll announce the terms when that does come up. Also click the like button, as that helps us grow and shows more people our content, and we can get more people involved in the discussion, because we're just trying to talk about Swansea City, get a bit of a community going of people who want to listen and chat and interact about Swansea City. So there's always stuff to talk about. There's always stuff going on at the moment. So get involved in the comments, leave a like and subscribe. If you're watching on Spotify, you can follow us there as well, or any other podcast service. So just keep up to date with the latest stuff. Although if you are listening on Spotify, we do match preview videos on YouTube that don't go on Spotify. So check out our YouTube channel. They're quite a bit shorter than the podcasts, usually range between 10 and 20 minutes, somewhere in between there, where we discuss the match ahead with somebody from the other team, like a similar sort of podcast, so they can give us a bit more of an insight into what's going on their end. We can learn a bit of valuable information ahead of the game, rather than looking at the stats and just the teams and trying to just guess from our end, because we're not as much in the know as obviously fans of each club. So that's what we're trying to do this season. It's going all right so far. So I think I just recorded one for QPR. It didn't really fill me with confidence, I'll be honest, but they never are these days. He was just telling me how in form their wingers are, and I was just like, oh yeah, great.
Yeah, they're looking good, QPR, aren't they?
Chair and Willock, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got Laird, who's apparently playing class for them.
Oh, I don't get why we didn't sign him.
He was talking to me about his new signings, and he was like, oh, he's got this right back, Ethan Laird, he's been quality. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, we know all about him.
Why didn't we? Why didn't we?
Well, I wonder, they might have asked the question. Maybe Laird actually wanted to go. Who knows?
Maybe.
Because, like, I mean, yeah, maybe he wanted to go. Like, maybe he didn't enjoy it, don't you?
Especially when we're desperate. Well, he seemed to enjoy it when he was here.
Yeah, he seemed to, but maybe like he was one too many penalty shouts turned down, and he couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, maybe. But he was like pumped in the derby when he ended, especially when we're absolutely desperate in that position.
Just doing what Man United tell him to go, isn't he? So we're obviously not doing well enough.
Send
their players on loan to us.
Probably. Could be that.
He's like, oh, they're passing the ball too much. It's too much like Man City. Can't deal with this.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I'm just speculating, talking rubbish, really. Okay, so 2 games have been this week. Probably not going to talk loads in detail about that. We've got a couple of transfers to talk about. I got a little game for you to play as well at the end that we talked that we're going to introduce a couple of weeks ago. So we'll do like a trial run tonight. Haven't made any graphics and stuff for it today. I didn't have time, but we can still play the game nonetheless. So the game, I'll give you an like for those who might not be here by then, maybe you want to stay. Basically, the game's going to be what was the lineup when. So that's the game. And this week is going to be what was the lineup when Stoke beat Swansea 2-0 at the Bet365 Stadium in 2012? So we'll play that later. So maybe you can start thinking in the background. See how many you can get out of 11. And then you can get bonus points if you can name the bench as well.
Oh, bloody hell. We'll have a go on that.
Okay, I'll have to think of a point system, and I will record it, see how many you can get every week.
Yeah.
And if we ever
we'll
have
do
a
that.
guest on, we can see if you can do some sort of competition. Okay, so first of all, then let's just talk about what's hot news. Michael Obafemi. Burnley have definitely bid twice, by accounts, maybe 3 times for Michael Obafemi, and it's been rejected, I believe, all of them up to this point. I mean, it's hard to find a concrete bit of information on what's going on. Have you got anything? Maybe Twitter's the best place, but I haven't seen.
I don't know if Twitter's the best place. It's just like
some of the journals, though, in there, like
the journals. Yeah, those are the ones that probably know a bit more. But like, it's just like one of the journals tweets something, and then 100 people tweet it as if they've got the scoop.
Yeah,
and it's just like everywhere.
I saw like Dan James is apparently be allowed to talk to several clubs by Leeds, including Tottenham. So people are saying that they're going to come in for Piroe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Like Leeds, they paid 25 million to get him in, and then played him out of position, and now they're going to get rid of him.
Playing him as a striker over there. I haven't really been following Premier League.
Well, I think they've just been playing him here, there, and everywhere. Really, I think.
Yeah. So only Swans reporting that Leeds are going in for Piroe, but I don't know. I think it's maybe people are just like, oh yeah, Leeds need a striker, so they're definitely going to come for Piroe rather than actual sources.
I saw there was like a Dutch thing as well that tweeted that apparently he was going to go to Leeds, but I don't know. I have no idea.
It's just deadline day. I could just probably go put a tweet out, and people will retweet it and get excited or start going nuts. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to see. It's hard to weed out the stuff.
Deadline day is crap because I hate deadline day. I am still convinced that it's like set up. Like I can't believe that clubs spending this much money with, essentially you need these players to either like win titles or stay in a league. I can't believe that it goes down to like the last second.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just think it's all like not like set up, but I think
interest and views.
Yeah, definitely. I just can't buy into it anymore.
How late can we leave it? Can we get the most clicks and then do a nice little video of like Wilfred
Bowley? Yeah, exactly.
Singing this song at midnight.
Yeah,
like, with the big
I think it used to be like a natural thing because I remember the transfer deadline day when like Robinho went to Man City randomly and like stuff like that. But now I think like
in the window.
Yeah, I think like stuff like that.
He was outside the stadium when he was Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, he went to the club, didn't he, to try and force a sign in. So I think like good things have happened in the past, but like I think they try and like make it up now, like try and force it. It's crap though because I've been in work all day and I kind of forgot about it. I was thinking, oh shit, I like must have missed like signings, and then you look and it's like, well, absolutely nothing has happened.
I feel like it's not the buzz that they used to have. Maybe it's because a lot of the big clubs kind of do their business early now, especially because they're the only ones that got money to spend, and they can just do whatever the hell they want.
It's ridiculous.
Also, I think it got spoilt the day that Sky Sports News wasn't free anymore.
Yeah,
it used to be on Freeview, didn't it? Sky Sports News. So like everyone could just chuck it on and enjoy deadline day. It's the only time you kind of like leave a news channel on all day and get excited about it. But if you've got Sky, obviously you're still doing that with Virgin, they pay for sports. But like everywhere you went in there when it was on Freeview, you just have Sky Sports News just on the TV with them all getting excited. Jeff Stelling up there, like all the yellow and black text about all the breaking deadline day news.
Yeah, it used to be good, and they used to have all people like around all the grounds and seeing what was going on. I just think they try and force it now. Yeah. It just does my head in general. You see it on like Sky in, I don't know, like the beginning of the season, like the countdown to the transfer deadline, and every day like a transfer update. It's like there's nothing happening.
Yeah, they've got to have something to talk about.
And the Swans, circling back to the Swans, they do the same thing every deadline day now. Nothing happens in the day. Nothing happens. I mean, what are we now? We are 8:15. Nothing has happened today. Nobody's signed. Nobody's done anything. And then all of a sudden they'll probably tweet like tonight, like, "Oh, don't go to bed. We signed, I don't know, Schechter back on loan." It's a lot of shit. Though. I got no
I
time
wonder
for
what he's
anymore.
doing these days. He's probably still playing, isn't he? It wasn't that long ago. Well, it was that long ago, but he probably is still playing. I think he was quite young.
And how does it? And how does it take? And how does it take to the end of the window where there's like what less than 3 hours left
Well, I mean,
for Burnley to start bidding?
I guess in our case here, back to what we said we were going to talk about and still didn't. We obviously aren't bringing anyone in today unless someone leaves. They do seem to be playing hardball with Burnley, which maybe they deserve a bit of credit for because we give them stick for Joe Rodon and Connor Roberts and Jamal Lowe's fee, just kind of getting rid and accepting whatever. And now they're kind of saying, no, this is what we want. So they said they wanted 12. I do think they'll accept less. But they want more up front. I think Burnley were only offering 4 or 5 mil up front, but they want more money up front, is what they're rejecting essentially, from what I understand.
Yeah, so I agree with what you're saying. Like they want a higher price, but I'm not going to give them too much credit because I think that's what it is. They just want more money up front, so they can
but
have
you
it now.
Can't use the money up if you don't get it up front, can you? So like it's all well and good.
Yeah, but they won't. But even if we had 4 million up front, even if we have 8 million up front, we're not spending 8 million.
No, but if we get 4 million up front, they're going to say like, oh, we've already spent that. So
but we still got like the Downs money, haven't we?
Well, we thought so,
which we haven't spent.
Sign anyone?
Well,
so.
Exactly. So if they sold him for 12 million and we got 12 million up front,
yeah,
I could only see us bringing in nothing.
You'd always rather have the money up front, though. Like if they're gonna spend it on anyone, even if like it's 4 or 8 million up front, I just feel like if they had 4, they wouldn't spend anything, and if they had 8, maybe they would sign someone.
Maybe.
So I'd rather have the money there than tied up, especially the way they're dealing with.
Oh yeah, you definitely. Of course, you'd rather have it up front.
If they're saying there's no money left, that means there's no money left for January. So even then, like if it's 8 million, that's more money for January, maybe, if we need to use something, or if we have, might be in a situation we need to bring someone in. At least we've got a bit of a kitty. But I personally wouldn't sell Obafemi tonight unless there's like, you've got a club on the line there saying like, right, we've got a deal for this guy, but we're only going to put it through if this guy goes. Like literally there, everything is signed. Well, not signed. They're literally ready to sign it based on this deal going through. Otherwise, I wouldn't sell him.
I agree. Yeah, I think I don't see the need to sell him now unless somebody's coming in. Yeah. I don't understand but I said to you earlier, unless like Cundle and Okoflex coming in were kind of, even though different positions, like kind of replacements, just like getting bodies in.
Yeah, and then using Cullen. But it didn't fix what I think we needed to fix, which is right back.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Whoever's making the decisions, I know like the owners, whatever, we don't get the money, but they said they didn't want loan signings. So the benefit of a loan signing is you can get exactly what you want. Like even if it's just for short term, you get exactly what you want. You want, right, I want this type of player who can play right wing back, and they haven't gone out to get it.
Yeah, I understand where they put in that statement out, say we're not going to rely on loans anymore, and I think that was a good move to do that. But I do then also say, okay, I said, didn't I, like last week, I agree with that principle, but when it got so late in the day and we still got issues in depth in areas, like it's not even depth, like we've barely got a first team right back at this point.
Exactly.
Is Sorinola right back at like first hand? I'm not sure because he was starting on the left.
I still don't know. I have no idea.
He did well against Stoke, to his credit, but like he started playing for us on the left, and they tried moving man in to accommodate Sorinola on the left. So that says to me he's not really a right back. So we haven't got a first team right back, is the bottom line, because even Norton, he's not that anymore, as he's centre back now. So I don't mind using a loan in this situation to go and get that. Like, even though they've said we're not focusing on loans anymore, exactly. I don't mind them then. Okay, yeah, but we had to get a right back, so we've done it now, and we're going to scout for long term, and maybe next
Yeah.
summer we can get someone in, hopefully, or whatever. Like, whatever. It didn't work this time. Couldn't get what we wanted. Didn't have the money for it. Got someone on loan. Whatever. That's fine. Everyone understand that. But like, Russell Martin has said several interviews since Latipodia got injured, there's no money, no one's coming in unless we're selling. There will be no one, not even a loan. He literally has said in a press conference, not even a loan. And then we've gone and signed a centre midfielder on loan and a winger on loan, who by accounts I think is preferably left as well. I still not fixed the right back problem. And the reason that conversation even happened in the interview is because he was being asked, are you going to get cover for Latipodia's long-term injury? I'm not saying it's Martin's fault, because it probably isn't, and it's probably a case of that he was asked, like, well, we can get this guy and this guy, yes or no. Like, you're not going to say no because you're going to get someone. But I don't understand why we're not getting what we actually need. The only
I don't
reason
get
I
it.
can see that is happened because I know sometimes when youngsters from bigger clubs like in the Premier League go out on loan, they don't ask for anything other than match day experience. Sometimes, not always, or sometimes a very low amount of contribution to their wages, or like sometimes even nothing, as long as it guarantees of first team football. So unless that is the case, then it's like, okay, fair enough. Like, you've just got bodies in for like nothing, But
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, we don't know if that is the case or not.
Yeah.
Bit of a rant, but yeah.
No, I think you're spot on.
It's just
And that's what I was saying. That's the one benefit of the loan market, though. Going back to what you're saying about like the right back.
yeah.
Like I said, it's just the one benefit. Like, we need a right back. Surely there's a club out there that has a right back that can come and just do a job for us solid, even if it was like someone in the same division.
So just an update on Piroe, the essential Wales online equivalent for like Leeds, writer for that just tweeted saying Leeds aren't where they want to be with 3 hours left of the window, but they're not thought to be considering Joel Piroe.
Nah, I can't see it.
Someone's just tweeted something that's probably one of them things that's gone off and circulated, but he's like, yeah, no, there's no interest there, apparently, at this stage anyway. We'll wait and see. I mean, nothing's over till it's over with transfer deadline day. Just refresh Twitter, see Aubameyang's basically signing on at Chelsea, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly, which has been in the pipework for about 5 weeks.
Yeah,
But they wait until 3 hours left.
Yeah. I wonder what Arsenal.
Sorry, I'm going a really real rant about deadline day. It just does my head in. I can't stand it.
We have something. We have a thread. Ian Mitchell-Moore. Don't know if I said his name right. Ian Mitchell-Moore. Swansea apparently pushing to sign Brentford and Wales right back Finn Stevens on loan. After all that rant. But
that's something.
But going back to what I said, he said several times, no one comes in unless we sell. This will be the third person. Are we just going to have to assume someone's going tonight and they've already decided that, and that's why they've signed 3 players?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying, because we're saying about Obafemi going. I said they've brought those 2 in on loan, maybe as a replacement. I said not like a direct, obviously, replacement with position-wise, but getting bodies in, and then if they bring this right back in as well, maybe Obafemi does go.
Apparently Hector Bellerin also going to Chelsea.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I don't. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just in the tweet about Aubameyang in the same tweet. Maybe it's not Chelsea. It just says he signed a contract, but doesn't say what club otherwise. So I don't know. Not that it's relevant to this podcast. Just again, thought it was interesting. It said Marcos Alonso as well, but he's already there. Bellerin's going to Barcelona because they can apparently sign more players.
Yeah. Somehow, yeah.
Why can't we do that? Why can't we just find?
I know. Yeah, we got no money. We'll just sign players anyway.
Yeah.
Somehow.
We'll just not pay them. It's fine.
Yeah. Apparently, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So in the case that Obafemi does go, right? So Swans were asking for 12. I did put a tweet out earlier in regards to this situation. So I said, do we sell Obafemi to Burnley if it means we keep Joel Piroe? And the responses was yes, no, only if he's replaced. 65% said yes. Only 26% only said only if he's replaced. Now, I don't know if that's because they just rather Piroe stay than Obafemi, or like they're happy with the fee if it's 12
Yeah,
million or even 8.
I
But
clicked
personally, I think
yes on
that's
it.
a decent fee.
I clicked yes on it because I just think if it's 12 million, you just got to take that anyway.
Yeah,
Knowing that we've got Piroe.
Is he worth 12 million?
No chance.
Is he worth 8?
Probably not.
I think 8 perhaps is fair for. What's he score? Like 10, 11 goals last year, 12? Can't remember.
He's too inconsistent though. I mean, even if you look at him, he was
but
good.
that was like half a season, remember? Because he only started scoring after Christmas.
Yeah, but he was good. He was good for a spell, wasn't he? And then, like now at the start of this season, he's done nothing.
You do pay more for strikers, and you pay more for. I was going to say English strikers, but he's not an English striker, so never mind.
I would not
Homegrown.
be happy if the Swans had spent 8 million on him.
Yeah, but Burnley have just got relegated from Premier League, and they got
No,
money.
I know, but I think like I would definitely take 8 million.
To be fair though, like every time I do these match previews and I ask like who worries you from the Swans, every single one I've done up to this point for this season. So every club we played, a podcast from that club that I've spoken to in these match previews have all said the same thing. They've all said, and it's the first thing they say every time, both your strikers really worry us. It's what they say every single time. Everyone thinks we've got one of the best strike partnerships in the league.
Oh, we have, no doubt. We have.
Like,
I think so. With Piroe and Obafemi. Yeah, with Piroe, but this was my beef when everyone was saying, "Oh, Russell Martin's got one hand tied behind his back. We should be, it's the owner's fault that we're losing games." It's like, hang on, he's got Piroe and Obafemi. Like you said, it's one of the best strike partnerships in the division.
Yeah, everyone says it. Like I'm. It's quite interesting because obviously you don't see loads of other clubs really. You focus on your own club, don't you? But everyone's saying Obafemi and Piroe like they worry us.
Like if we had the option, I would be happy to stick as we are now and keep Obafemi and Piroe. I'd be happy if that happens. But I just think if someone comes in with a really good bid, then we're probably in a position where we have to accept it. And it would be like weakening our squad again. I mean, every window,
yeah,
we'd be worse off.
Do you think like? I know we were talking about theoreticals, and I know you're going to say, "Oh yeah, but we won't spend the money or whatever." Say he goes, and that means we can get a right back, and we do get a replacement striker. Say those two things happen if Obafemi goes. Do you think he should go to make those two things? Like, if it means we can regenerate, get like he's replaced with a striker, and we get a right back.
Yeah, I think it makes sense then, doesn't it?
Okay.
If that's the case, then it makes sense. You've got to take
kind of like accepting the fact that we need to be better in other areas, and something's got to give as a result.
But yeah, exactly. But that's the position that I understand. That's the position the club is in. That's the position that we've been in. My biggest argument, like every window when we've come on, I've always said, I just hated that every window, like we sort of dripped away the quality because that's what we've got to do. We've got to sell players for good fees, but then they don't regenerate the money well, or if at all. Hypothetically, if they sell Obafemi now, they push Piroe into 9, which is where he wants to play. That Kundal has come in, who can play in midfield instead of Piroe being deeper. As another option.
Attacking midfielder, is he?
Yeah, I think so. So that kind of makes sense because it's just you pushing Piroe into Obafemi's position, and then you're bringing him in as an option, and obviously that Oko Flex can play on the wing because sometimes he's playing like in Cham wide, isn't he, and Patterson wide. So
yeah,
kind of makes sense. It's just like we get rid of Obafemi and we've brought in these two as another option if we push Piroe forward. So that makes sense. And if we sign a right back, then maybe we've got a more complete team. But I think if I had the option now, I would have just taken a right back on loan and kept Obafemi if that was possible.
I've just seen another weird transfer. Sorry to again go off. It's transfer deadline day, and things catch your eye, and you're just like, "What?" I didn't know Willian's gone to Fulham.
Willian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
When's that happen? Is that today?
No idea.
From Corinthians. He's gone to Fulham. He hasn't played a game for them, so I'm guessing it's today. That's
random.
How old is he now?
I don't know. Former Chelsea man
He's
going to
getting
Fulham.
on with it. He's 34, like. He's 34. He's doing the rounds of London, isn't he? Jesus. I mean, I don't know if that's a good signing at 34.
Bit of experience. I don't know, but he was never like a workhorse anyway, was he?
Yeah, but he was rubbish when he went to Arsenal.
Oh yeah, that was awful. I forgot about that. I forgot he was at Arsenal.
Yeah, but when he left Arsenal, he said he left because he found it hard to accept not winning on a regular basis. And now he's gone to Fulham.
Yeah, but what a shit statement that is, isn't it? It's just like, I'm finding it hard to play because we're losing. Maybe that's why you're losing.
Yeah, but then why do you want to sign a player like that when you're a newly
Yeah.
promoted team to the Premier League?
Nah, I wouldn't bother.
Oh yeah, okay. Be a risk to chuck him in your fancy football.
Yeah, stuff like
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So back to the Piroe stuff then. The reports apparently came from the Netherlands, as you said, that Leeds were after him. Planet Swans and Swansea Independent have both jumped on it and reported it, but I think that guy on Twitter's tweeted since. But I mean, it's worth keeping an eye on because you never know what is the actual truth of the situation. So there is links with Leeds to Piroe, just not like some are saying yes, they're looking, some are saying no, they're not looking. So yeah, could be an interesting end to the window there. And I think Obafemi stuff's gone a bit quiet. But I did see after the last bid was rejected, Burnley started looking elsewhere.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I'd be happy if they kept him. It's a bit of a funny one, isn't it? Because we are in the position where we kind of need to sacrifice other places to bring in others. But I mean, I think all we were missing was a right back.
Yeah,
That's all we were missing in terms of a squad. Maybe bringing in another midfielder for cover. But if they had a right wing back, I think we would be fine.
I'm worried about midfielders because I think Incham can even drop back there. But I prefer the option to play wingers.
Yeah.
If we're going to go for a four at the back.
Yeah.
So that's what I would start looking next. But I mean, we need a right back primarily. We have had some action from Swansea today, though. Dan Williams has gone out on loan to New Saints. Welsh Premier League, I believe, is it?
Yeah.
Not Welsh Premier League. Yeah, it is Welsh Premier League.
Yeah.
Is that the right move for someone that you want to try and bring through to the first team?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd like to see him playing in League One or League Two at least.
Yeah, because he looked right when he played in the Cup last season. I'm not sure as to, like, you're not going to go from the Welsh Prem probably to knocking on the door of our team. Like, do an Ollie Cooper, go to Newport.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
We'll speak about Ollie Cooper in a second. Let's just finish the transfer news. Yeah. So we also made the two signings that we mentioned earlier on. Luke Cundle, midfielder who signed on loan from Wolves. You say he's more of an attacking midfielder. I haven't seen too much of him, so I'm not 100% sure. I mean, they were both on the bench the other day, but they didn't come on today against Stoke. And Armstrong Okoflex. Is that how you say? Yeah.
What name?
On loan from West Ham, believed to be a winger. So we'll see. Maybe he'll convert him like Hans Wolf to a wing back.
Maybe.
So they're the two we've brought in. No other news to offer you at this moment in time. I'll keep Twitter open while we're on the podcast just to see if anything comes up. But at the moment, not much to say. Oh, Stuart James has tweeted. Michael Obafemi is staying at Swansea. Burnley's final offer fell well short of Swansea's valuation. Joel Piroe is also going nowhere. Swansea's only incoming on deadline day is set to be Finn Stevens, age 19, on loan from Brentford. So, if what he's saying is accurate, there's no outgoings, and we've signed 3 players this week on loan.
Yeah.
Maybe the owners decided to stump up some cash after results started being a bit crap.
Maybe, but it's I'm happy with it. I think the squad was kind of okay as it was. We just needed maybe just that right wing back, like we said, and maybe another body. And I think we've got that to work with now for the rest. Well, until January at least.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the performance. So have you got your 3-word review for the last week? we won't spend too much time talking about them, but we'll have a quick dabble.
It's kind of related though. I've done like a one phrase for this one. It's all instead of like three separate words. I've just kind of put after transfer window, and I just think we're just in a little bit of a limbo at the moment. Like that's why I was always a bit annoyed when like we concede late and stuff. But it's just a weird. It's just weird that the transfer window's still open in the middle of the season, and we're playing the day before deadline day. Obafemi was probably on the bench for a potential move, and I just think we're just in a funny bit of limbo. I think once the window closes and that's done, and we know the squad we've got, hopefully Piroe and Obafemi are there, we might start seeing better performances.
7 games in is a bit much to have the window still
Yeah, I
open.
think it's ridiculous.
Martin's been
And it's got to have an effect. It's
Yeah.
got to have an effect on the players, and that's why normally, like I have been this season, quite critical. But yesterday, I just really got that feeling with the deadline day, the day after. I was just like, this seems like a bit of a, almost like in a weird way, like a bit of a friendly. It's just like, oh, we just got to get this game out of the way to see
Yeah.
what happens next, sort of thing. It was a bit of a weird one. So that's why I picked those three.
It's always better when
words.
you're locked in with what you got.
Yeah, and I think
focus on.
I think it does affect. It will affect the performances because we know then that's our squad.
Yeah, my 3 words were quite similar. I did deadline day vital. It was more referring to like if Obafemi's going to stay and Piroe's going to stay, and if they go, who we're going to replace them with. But we've had all that conversation, so it kind of links to what you're saying in regards to like that's done now. We know what we got, so let's start pushing on with
I also think as well, it kind of takes that excuse out now as well. It's always been like, oh, the owners or what, or this or that. It just gets rid of that excuse, and then it's time to start performing. So I've kind of sort of reset my thoughts in a funny way, because I was kind of like, oh, this is like awful, like something's got to change. But then I was like, okay, the deadline day was still open, really far into the season. I just think let's have a little bit of a reset now. Let's have these, if they bring in the 3 loan players, give them a week or 2, and then we'll assess again. However, it's got to change from what we've been seeing still.
Yeah, so start with Middlesbrough. I didn't see too much of it. It's really hard to watch the games. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's doing my head in, especially the away. Like they're both away, and so last night, Swans TV just didn't work for 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Got no time for that. Paying for it as well, and then
luckily
it doesn't work.
It wasn't me that paid this time. I was sharing with someone, but it's a joke. You pay for that. They don't do nothing either. There's no like, sorry, have half a refund or have next time free. They just like put it up like, oh, it's up now.
I don't really struggle to watch the games. I won't, obviously can't reveal my secret. So I do manage to watch the games regularly. If I can't make the game, obviously, but
that's why you got to tell us how bad it is.
In a way, it was. I was unlucky to have to watch that game, and I feel as well even worse.
I listen on the radio when I can't watch unless I'm working. The radio's usually pretty reliable, usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, Middlesbrough. Anything much to say? I mean, Cabango had a red card towards the end, which was a bit silly.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same as we'd seen before, really. Not really anything to add. It was a carry on from all the previous games. We were good for the first 10, 15 minutes. Seemed like we had all the ball and we were doing it. And then one mistake, obviously Congreve made a mistake and passed it into the middle of the pitch, which was picked up. And we were 1-0 down, and it was soon 2. And then it could have been more again because Middlesbrough had loads of chances, tons of chances, especially in the first half.
Well,
and the start of the second half, they had tons of chances.
They've got a really good XG and been creating a lot of opportunities and not finishing them.
Yeah, and they had tons of chances. And then I think like the penalty was a bit soft, but we'll take, and it kind of led us back into the game. And then we seemed to have a bit of a push then, because obviously it was game on again. And then Cabango got sent off, which was ridiculous. I don't know why he does what he does when he's on a yellow card, but that has sort of ended that then. So I was quite annoyed after that game again. It was the same sort of performance. Just rubbish again, really, there. And against Middlesbrough was awful.
Yeah. I think one of the key talking points from this game is Cameron Congreve started right wing back.
Yeah.
And he got hooked, like 30 minutes in?
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I'm guessing he didn't play great, but he's not perhaps in his natural position. What was his performance like while he was there? He got subbed on 31st minute.
To be fair, I didn't quite. When they subbed him off, I thought, oh, it's a bit harsh because I know he did give the ball away for
First goal.
the first goal. I felt like every player could do that, couldn't they? And then when I watched the replay back of the second goal, he doesn't follow his man. He's on the man who the player who crosses it in. He kind of does a 1-2 with someone, and Congreve is with him, and then just lets him go. So he does make a mistake there, but surely, like, why is he playing right wing back?
That's
He's
the
obviously
inexperience of playing in a role that you're
But
not
that's
used to.
exactly that's your like that's instinct, isn't it? If you're naturally sort of a right wing back, your instinct is to do that. And I mean,
Yeah.
I know obviously he's been told what
His
to do, and
instinct's probably to get into the open space for a counter attack or something.
yeah, and I think that's what he was doing. He kind of had him, and then he sort of crept forward a little bit. Meanwhile, he's running behind.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he's hooked him off, because he was kind of at fault for both goals. But I don't know. I just think it was a bit harsh because he was obviously the scapegoat. Then hung him out to dry a bit. Don't think he was even on the bench for the Stoke game.
No, he wasn't. That's my concern now, because as harsh as it
How
was
can
to
you
do
do
that
that?
when you're 2-0 down against Middlesbrough, like if you need to do it for tactical reasons, to think, well, it could be 3 if I don't. All right, fair, but at least put him on the bench in the next game, innit? But now it's like didn't even make the bench, and it just looks a whole lot worse.
But that's why I don't understand why they signed another attacking midfielder, because surely that's his role.
Yeah, I mean,
so I think he has
maybe
just
tonight. I don't know.
Buried him a bit.
Buried him, but then like I get if you got to play people out of position when you're short of cover. I do get that, but maybe not with somebody that's just breaking into the team. Like,
yeah, I think you're right.
Let them
yeah.
break into the team first, and then start seeing if they can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, definitely wing back is not his position. That was just definitely on him playing.
But he did it last year away at Nottingham Forest, didn't he? And we got smashed. Oh no, not
exactly. Yeah, Forest hammered us. Like 5-1.
I don't know if it was Forest where he did it.
I think it was.
He had the handball thing.
Oh yeah, I think he did play Congreve though.
Was it Sheffield perhaps? It was one of them.
Remember.
He played wing back. He started wing back in an away game. Can't remember which one now off the top of my head. But that's for me the main talking point from the game. Difficult one. However, Ollie Cooper came on at half-time and by all accounts did well enough to earn himself a start against Stoke.
Yeah.
And I thought he was actually very good.
Oh, in the Stoke game? The Stoke game, I think he was the best player on the pitch, by far.
And that's a good sign. So we played him kind of like... I think we played... I don't know what you made of the formation last night, but I think it was a 5-2-2-1.
Yeah, it's kind of what we've been playing most of the season. It's like 3 at the back, isn't it, with the wing backs?
Yeah, and then he had Allen and Grimes sitting, Felton and Cooper behind Piroe, but not wide, like they were kind of inside behind.
Yeah. That's, I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so like 5-2-2-1.
1, yeah.
I would say. Which was, it's weird seeing Felton so pushed. I mean, that's not best place for him either. But he did all right. He did put a shift in. But I'm wondering whether swapping him with Joe Allen, but then Joe Allen was everywhere, wasn't he?
Joe Allen was class again last night. Yeah, he was good.
He's definitely showing
played really
his
well.
Experience. But yeah, Ollie Cooper, is he gonna stay in the squad, in a team? Like, did he do that well?
I hope so. Yeah, definitely. I think I would start him again on Saturday. That's how good he was. I thought, that was the best. I would go as far as say that was the best we had been going forward all season. We looked so dangerous. We had so many chances that we left out there. By the way, we could have scored more, definitely. Defending was not very good either, because that game could have been about 3-3 probably. But I think in terms of going forward, we always looked like we were going to score. We always looked like we were going to create something, and most of it was going through him. He was everywhere. He was energetic. He was like making runs in behind. He was coming short to get the ball, and then he was everywhere. I was so impressed with him. I hope now that he doesn't just like bury him on the bench because he's brought the loan signings in and he doesn't get a look in, because I thought he was brilliant. But Martin did say in his press conference afterwards how good he was. He did say Ollie Cooper was outstanding. So I hoping that he deserves to start the next game. Definitely, he was best. He was our best. He was our best player, and I thought he was best player on the pitch.
I hope he can stay in the team, to be honest. It's nice to see someone coming through, and he had a really good year for Newport last year, so it'd be great if he can continue that. And then he'd be knocking on the door, even maybe for Wales, if he can carry that forward.
I think the only thing is with that, I think like if like for example Obafemi stays, then obviously Piroe comes back into that mix, and then Patterson coming back.
Is it working better having Piroe as striker and just using one of them at the moment? Like,
well, at the moment,
Felton's on the pitch there. Like he does. I think Felton doesn't play in an attacking role when you got the other guys ready to start.
Yeah.
Rather than maybe Ollie Cooper. Ollie Cooper's more natural in that position. I'm not saying Felton had a bad game, but it's not his. You'd have him on the bench to cover Grimes and Allen, wouldn't you?
He's definitely given him a headache now, because I think we're quite stacked in that position, especially if Obafemi stays. And you've got to keep Piroe happy, you've got to keep Obafemi happy, and you've got to keep like Cham, Patterson, and I'm missing someone.
You don't have to keep Cham happy, mate. He's done that game when he's gone back to where he was.
This is why I'm surprised that he hasn't gone somewhere, because Ollie Cooper did more running and had a better work rate and created more than Cham has done in the whole time he's been here in that one game.
Yeah, the one good game against Millwall, didn't he? But he's just gone back to where he was. But then I was talking about Patterson to the QPR when I was on the QPR video just now. They asked me about Patterson because they were linked with him in January when he was kicking off.
Yeah.
And they thought he was saying that they thought they had him, like they thought they had him. And I just said, I think you might have dodged a bullet, to be honest, because he hasn't been the same since that saga. He didn't have the best second half of the season. He was okay. He wasn't the same as what he was in the first half of the season. And he hasn't done anything this season when he's been on the pitch, I don't think.
No,
people say he's our most creative player. I haven't seen that this year at all. He hasn't done anything for me.
No, he hasn't. And, well, he created the Millwall equaliser, didn't he, by chucking the ball on the pitch.
Oh, yeah. But
apparently.
Yeah. But, like, you know, Bristol let him go on a free. They were desperate to keep him. Yeah, he had a really good start for us, but it's tailed off a little bit, and he's not really doing the stuff that he was doing, scoring the good goals, you know, like against Cardiff, like it was a good goal, hitting it from outside the box and
creating goals.
With Piroe, like it doesn't seem to be there anymore. Having said that, Piroe's not been playing in the middle, which might be part of it. Who knows? Maybe that could be part of it, but he hasn't looked the same. He did sign a new contract in the summer, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's funny with players like that because they come on a free, and then what it seemed like to me was that he obviously came, played his socks off for the first 3-4 months. Obviously, then he played well enough to command like a move or a better contract, which is probably what he was playing for. And then that's it. He's got what he wants. It just didn't seem to push on from there. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he comes back from his injury now and finds his form again. But I think you're right. I wouldn't be rushing him back in for a minute. I wouldn't be like, oh, we've absolutely missed him, even though we haven't been playing that well. But the way he has been playing, I wouldn't say he needs to be starting straight away next game. Yeah. Not over Ollie Cooper anyway after his performance.
You just want him to earn their position, and if Ollie Cooper's working hard, and you just keep him in the team, keep him Cham and Patterson on the bench because do more if we want to come back. You need to do more.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I hope he doesn't just chuck him back in.
But it came on against Stoke, and Stoke came into the game more. I'm not saying it's their fault necessarily, but you had to bring on fresh legs. So Felton and Cooper went off. Cooper's first start in the league, he was never going to play 90, even if he's the best player on the pitch. So you can expect those substitutions, but they didn't really help us retake control of the game. And when we were going forward, it didn't. We started fizzling out, and Stoke started growing into the game. And they aren't the reason we ended up drawing the game and dropping the win. We'll talk about that in a second because I put the blame fully for that on Fisher, I'll be honest, but they didn't really help us mitigate what Stoke were doing and how they were growing into the game either.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like, we had so many chances to bury the game as well. Obafemi, man, my God, sometimes he is so dangerous, but sometimes his touch is awful. Like, we had so many chances where we were like, they'd obviously pushed forward, and like it's fallen to him, and he's either gone like the wrong way, or he's picked the wrong pass, or the pass is a little bit short, or something. Like, oh, these are good chances that we're wasting. Yeah? Like 2-3 good chances. You're thinking, we just need that second goal again, and then you know what happens with us when we don't get it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we could have buried the game.
Sorinola had his best game in a Swans kit as well. Obviously, the ball he played for Joel Piroe was open. It was outstanding. Fair play.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball, to be fair.
And he did do a couple of other dangerous low crosses into the box that were into really good, dangerous areas. There was just no one there. But I don't really blame him for that, because that's where he needs to be putting the ball every time. Just somebody should be attacking it. But like, that's the best I've seen him crossing the ball and playing generally. He did look tired at the end, but then that comes back to us. You couldn't really sub him because there wasn't anyone to bring on. Like, I don't even think it was a defender on the bench last night. No, there wasn't.
Was there not?
No.
Oh,
Unless
God,
one of these new guys can play right back. But you had Bender and Cham, Cundle, Obafemi, Patterson, Cullen, Okoflex. Obviously, Cabango had his suspension.
Yeah, I didn't realise we didn't have that.
But even if Cabango, like, where's Brandon Cooper? Apparently, he's not going out on loan. So why can't he make the bench when Cabango's on suspension?
Yeah, I just don't get it. See,
what happens if there's an injury? What if Norton picks up a knock? You know, he's a bit older. He does sometimes. He has to come off. What are you doing then?
His plan was probably to go to a back four then, probably, I'd imagine. But still, like, I don't understand. I know he says, like, well, he doesn't necessarily say it himself, but that we're struggling for, like, in areas for depth. But you're right, we've still got these players floating around. Brandon Cooper played a couple of games last year. Thought he'd done all right. I mean, he's good enough to be on the bench anyway, like you said, in case there's an injury.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as well, he is spiking himself a bit there by not putting him on the bench. But
anyway, let's speak about Stoke's equaliser, because
before we do that, I would say I just want to say I thought Wood was brilliant last night as well.
Yeah,
I thought he was really. Yeah, I think that was the best. I think that was his best performance in Swan shirt. He was really good. There were times in the first half where, like, again, they were trying to play out from the back, and it was just going catastrophically wrong again. And there was a couple of times where he bailed us out, where he was sort of backed into a corner and he showed good strength. And then one time he just absolutely just brushed somebody aside and got us out and got us playing. And he was really good with the ball at his feet. He was playing some lovely passes and getting us out of trouble. I think he played really well.
It's good. I hope he can continue and grow into.
And I can't remember
on a regular basis.
I can't remember who was on that wing, but because, like, we played with the wing back, sometimes obviously he's having to go out wide to defend the winger, and he done so well defending. He was solid. He was so strong. Wherever it was, he was just batting him off.
Yeah, well, that's good. Nice to see, and hopefully he can maintain that. He'll have a bit
so I'll give him that one.
QPR now with their wingers. So
yeah, I think we deserve that praise for that performance, because he did play well.
Okay, so the last thing about the games that we want to talk about this week is the equaliser. Look, it is what it is. I probably would have taken a point before kick-off, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't feel, as bad as it could feel. But we should have seen the game out. It is still an issue that Russell Martin needs to address, because his body language after the goal went in, like, he's frustrated as any of us, and I guess it is a hard thing to fix, is to, like, make the players understand how to see that game through. But it all comes from it's not a goal kick, but, like, the ball is at Fisher's feet. And he's kind of trying to play a short pass, and he stutters on the ball as he's getting charged down, and then kind of has to panic clearance. But he only plays it to, I think it's Norton he's trying to aim for, who's not in halfway. He's kind of halfway in our half, if you get me.
Yeah.
But there's like 3 or 4 Stoke players also in our half, and everyone's man-marked because they're pushing on for an equaliser. It wasn't a good ball. Norton couldn't get it. Pardon me. He's backtracking then the Stoke player who has got the ball, and he gives away a free kick right on the edge of the box. Now, you could argue that is an experienced free kick to give away, because he's just about to go into the box. and that would have been a penalty if he was any closer. He's already beaten.
Yeah, it was very close. Yeah,
it was very close. He's beaten Norton, but if you're gonna, he stopped him going even. He could have got a shot away and scored. So you could say, right, I gave the free kick away to give us the opportunity to refresh and defend it. I have a bit of sympathy for him because he shouldn't have been put in that situation, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
and the guy was gone. Like, if he didn't bring him down, he was in 1-on-1 anyway with
Yeah.
the keeper. So you could say he's brought him down. He was like, right, I need to get the ball, and if I don't get the ball, I've got to bring him down because he's in the box next. And it was
Yeah.
on the line. It was very close to being a penalty, but it could have been enough, but it wasn't enough because they scored ultimately from the free kick, which we couldn't clear properly. But ultimately, this kick from Fisher, why is he stuttering over it? I get the way we want to play, and I get you want to keep the ball, and you want to pass it, and you want to try and pick out your players because that's our style. I get that. But when you're 1-0 up away from home in the 90th minute, just give it to the other keeper if you have to. Just put it up the other end of the pitch. Like, let us all sit back and refresh. The players were so spread out, and it was like 4 or 5 Stoke players in our half. So even if you do pick out one of our players, we then have to deal with it and keep the ball, and we're under a bit of pressure to do that in our half. You're putting us under pressure. So, just get rid of it because they're going to be on to us to try and get that equalising goal.
Yeah.
And as soon as they win the ball, when they're 1v1 like that, all of a sudden we got a problem. It's not like we got people back to defend that. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah, the only thing I will say, I'll not defending him because it seemed daft to me, is how much of that is coming from the manager for him to play.
Yeah, but even if it is,
can you continue to do that?
Whoever's responsible for that, then yeah, they need to address it. So whether it used to happen sometimes under the likes of Brendan Rodgers, Martinez, Laudrup, where you'd see us playing passing football in the corners, and it's just get rid of it in this moment. And some of the managers back then always spoke we need to be sensible. Yeah, this is the way we like to play, but there's certain occasions in the match where you just got to use your defensive instincts and see it out and get rid of it and whatever. Go to the corner, keep the ball in the corner in their half of the pitch, that sort of thing. We don't do it. We just don't do it. So the instruction needs to come from Martin. I don't know whether he is saying it and the players are just not mentally strong enough on the pitch to think that's what we need to do, or the right players around the ball need to do that. I don't know what the problem is, but somebody needs to that needs to get through to them somehow. There's a time and a place to do that sort of ball. If it's 10 minutes earlier, Stoke probably don't have all them players forward because it's not last-ditch scenario. So they probably aren't pushing up that much pressure where, because, the alternative is we could have won the header, the flick on, and Obafemi and Piroe were through on goal or something because they've pushed up. But and that's the risk, innit? I guess that's perhaps the good scenario for us if we won the ball. But we didn't win the ball, and the good scenario happened for Stoke.
Yeah.
So that was the risk Stoke played, and they got the reward. We shouldn't be playing a risk when we're 1-0 up away from home in the 90th minute.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I was just thinking, if he's telling them to play that no matter what, but we're talking about game management all the time.
Yeah.
And but I get it that he wants to play out from the back, right? I totally get it. But I have never seen it work where we play out from the goalkeeper because Norton comes to the goal kick, doesn't he? And him and Fisher sort of have a bit of back and forth to try. And I have never seen us create anything from that. Somebody might find something where we have, but I've only seen it cause us problems or cost us a goal. So I don't really understand the benefit of it. Fair enough if they want to play and get it going. But is there not another way? Can we not spread we used to? We used to spread the centre backs, didn't we? We used to spread the centre backs, and maybe the full backs would push a bit forward, and you'd play out that way. But by bringing Norton into the 6-yard box for him and Fisher to have a bit of a 1-2, and then you just invite in pressure. If something goes wrong, you're out there in your box. Usually it's Grimes that comes to the edge of the box to try and save it, and if something goes wrong there, they're at the goalkeeper. And there was a couple of times last night, even early on in the match, where they had caught us out a couple of times, and I think Norton got caught once on the ball, and it just rolled back to the keeper, luckily. But I don't understand it. I get that he wants to play the football, but whatever that is doesn't work.
Yeah,
I think that needs to stop. Just do why it didn't.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I guess, like you're saying, I don't see opportunities coming directly from this. I guess the argument would be like, yeah, well, we keep the ball and we pass it around, so the opportunity might come like 30 passes later. But I do get what you're saying. Like, it's
For us, it's caused way more problems than
yeah, it does. Yeah,
what we've
yeah,
achieved from
definitely,
it. So,
definitely.
and I'd say it's cost us games. So,
Like, to the point where you've got to even adapt. Like, if you can't play out from the back, you can do the ball into the middle of the park, wait till you bring it down, and then start passing it around.
and then play. But like, and it's not even that, because sometimes we might not even win the second ball, So I think he wants to keep possession from the start. So I do get it. I just think there's got to be a different way of going about it than bringing your middle centre half into the 6-yard box, because
Yeah,
then instantly you're under pressure. They're all pressing at that point, and you're in your 6-yard box. It's just needless pressure.
yeah. Okay, well, transfer deadline day. Nothing happened since we last spoke about it.
Shock.
Excited on Twitter saying Obafemi and Piroe stay and all the rest of it. I've seen people saying like it'd be interesting to see how Obafemi reacts after this, but it didn't really seem like he was desperate to leave or anything. So I wouldn't expect to see a player that's sulking, but we'll wait and see, I guess. Maybe he did want to go, but he seems like he's enjoying himself here. Let's play quickly before the end then, the game that we said we were going to have a look at. So what was the lineup when Stoke beat Swansea 2-0 at the Bet365 Stadium in 2012? I don't know if it was actually called that back then. I'll give you a couple of clues. So it was Swansea's first season in the Premier League, first time against Stoke. Obviously, the score was 2-0. And
I was going to ask, because I think in 2012 we lost them away twice 2-0.
Yeah.
Because it was the end of one season and the start of the next season, yeah.
Yeah, and Brendan Rodgers was obviously manager. Okay, so that's the clues. So do you want to have a go, see how many you can get?
Yeah, how many guesses do I get? Because I'll just probably reel off some players. Or shall I just see how many we get?
Rather than just guessing players, then you've got to go through like goalkeeper, right back, centre back.
Okay.
You get one go at every position, yes or no, and I'll get you get a point if you get it. And then for the subs, like you get 7 guesses, like essentially.
Subs, bloody hell. Okay, let's have a think. First season then.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, Vorm.
That is wrong.
It's Tremel then.
It was Tremel.
Yeah, all right. It was one or the other.
Right back?
Rangel?
Correct. Angel Rangel played right back.
Centre back. Ashley Williams?
Ashley Williams was one of the centre backs, yes. The other one?
Corker.
Yeah, Stephen Corker. So you got 3 out of 4 so far. Left back?
Left back. Now, was he fit again? I don't think so. I won't say. I'm just talking through it because I know Neil Taylor was there and then he got injured. That was the beginning of next season. Neil Taylor?
Yeah, Neil Taylor. Yeah, Ben Davis came in after he got injured, but that was under Michael Laudrup.
That was the next season, was it?
Yeah. Midfielders then too.
Britain.
Leon Britton is one of them, correct.
Joe Allen.
Yeah, Joe Allen. Fun fact, the only player in this team that is still at the Swans.
Nice, I'll take that.
Say still at the Swans, but you know what I mean. Okay.
Via Stoke.
Winger, two wingers. Let's go for
2 wingers. Got to be Sinclair.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of the 2. I'm going to say Dyer.
Yeah, Nathan Dyer.
Nice.
Centre attacking midfielder.
Sigurdsson.
Yeah, Sigurdsson. And striker.
Danny Graham.
Danny Graham is correct. So you actually only got 1 wrong in the starting 11. And
I was thinking Tremel as well.
Must have been injured.
I was thinking Tremel, yeah.
Okay, what about the bench? Let's just get 7 guesses.
Oh, here we go. Luke Moore.
Luke Moore was on the bench. That's 1.
Who would have been our 3rd choice keeper at that point then? I had no idea. We'll come back to that one. That's how I think. So Luke Moore as a striker, midfielders. Who do we have at that point? Because this is towards the end of the season, I guess, is it?
I think it was like February time.
Mark Gower.
Mark Gower was on the bench.
We're rolling. Who else was on the bench?
See if you're playing along while you're watching the video as well, or listening on Spotify, write in the comments which ones you get or which ones you missed, perhaps as well. Let us know how.
I just thought of another one. Because I was torn between the two wingers, Dyer or Routledge. Must have been on the bench.
Routledge was on the bench.
How many's that?
You've had 3 guesses. You've got 4 left.
Oh, I'm struggling here now. Who do we have on the defenders? Must have had a full back on the bench. Or a centre half. I don't know. This is where I'm blocking now.
You're gonna. Yeah, it's getting hard.
Oh my god, I got one. This is a bit of it. It might be wrong. Josh McEachran.
Josh McEachran was on the bench. Yeah, it's 4 out of 4 for the bench. You've got 3 left.
This is where I think I'll struggle now because I can't think of our third choice keeper was. I can't think of our defence. Because when I think of that season, I always think of obviously Williams and Corker, Rangel and Neil Taylor. Oh, hang on. So if we just got promoted, maybe like Monk or Tate was still floating around. I'm gonna say, was Tate gone by then? I'll say Gary Monk.
Gary Monk was on the bench.
He was on the bench. Bloody hell. Goalkeeper. I got no idea for the goalkeeper. Is it a Portuguese guy that we signed and never played?
Is that your answer?
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I can't remember.
No, he's not on the bench.
Who was the goalkeeper?
You got one more guess first.
I got one more guess. All right, I'll stay away from the goalkeeper then. I'll try and think.
2 players on the bench, 1 more guess.
No.
Just say a name.
I'm trying to think from that season. I can't think who played. I said Luke Moore, didn't I?
Yeah.
Luke Moore and Danny Graham. Who else played that year? Oh, I got one. Leroy Lita.
Leroy Lita was on the bench.
Oh yeah, we had 2 strikers on the bench.
Yeah. And the player you missed was Alan Tate.
Oh, well, we didn't have a goalkeeper on the bench.
No.
Oh, bloody hell, and it was Tate. Bloody hell.
Tate was on the bench. He left, he played under Michael Laudrup. I remember when he started against Everton and got absolutely ruined by Fellaini.
Yeah.
Like,
bloody hell. I didn't, that's how bad that goalkeeper must have been then.
Yeah.
To not even be on the bench to risk it.
We signed it before Vorm, though, so...
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Okay, you're going to earn bonus points if you tell me which 2 players got substituted on and which 2 players got substituted off.
Oh, fuck. Maybe Luke Moore came on if we were 2-0 down.
Okay, so we're saying Luke Moore come on. Luke Moore did come on. You know who he came on for? You've got to get them both to get a point, like.
Who'd take off if you're 2-0 down? Brendan Rodgers. Maybe he took Danny Graham off?
Luke Moore for Danny Graham is incorrect. Okay, do you want to try the other 2?
Who else was on the bench?
One more substitution.
Maybe Leroy Lita came on?
For
Danny Graham.
Leroy Lita didn't come on. So it was Josh McEachran came on for...
That's why we lost the game. He didn't bring Lita on.
Josh McEachran came on for Scott Sinclair. And Luke Moore came on for Nathan Dyer.
Fair.
Must have changed formation.
Yeah, fair play.
But it did decent, though. You had like 10 out of 11 on the first like the starting 11, and you had 6 out of 7 on the bench. So
I said
I'll have
Tate as
to
well.
like record this, and then maybe you'll have to find one for me next week, and then we'll record a table for the season, see how we get on.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the team when Swansea lost. It was on the 26th of February 2012. It was the day before my birthday.
Who scored for Stoke?
Whatever my
Crouch,
birthday.
probably.
You are?
Crouch score for Stoke.
I should have done that actually. Yeah, 2 more bonus points then for the 2 goals. So you're saying
probably 2 for Crouch, was it?
Crouch scored 1 goal, but you used 2 guesses, so that's it.
Fair. Who was it?
Matthew Upson.
No, yeah, well, 2 headers then.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was Stoke under Tony Pulis, so
that was good. When you actually said at the beginning it was going to be 2012 Stoke, I was thinking I am going to absolutely clue you. But then when you go back to that team, then you think of that season,
yeah,
and who was there at the time.
Yeah, I guess it was the referee.
Oh, God, Mike Dean.
Howard Webb.
Oh God.
It was called the Britannia Stadium back then. I've just got it here.
Yeah, when it was the Britannia. Yeah,
26,678 in attendance. It's a good website. I'll have to keep this for the game.
Yeah, it's good. It was fun. It was. I enjoyed it.
It's called 11v11.com, and it's got like all of the like history from like the meetings between the clubs, right? So games won. This is Stoke. I'm on like from Stoke's perspective here. Games won against Swansea, 32. Games drawn, 22, and games lost, 25.
Oh, nice.
But if you look at like recent years, so since we went up,
Yeah.
I think Swansea only won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've beaten them 7 times. Because we say they're a bit of a bogey team, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
They've beaten us 12 times. So yeah,
12
they're definitely
times.
getting the better of us.
Bloody hell. 12 times. They seem to always beat us, to be fair. But
not yesterday, they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, last season, actually. Oh, no, they did. They did last season. They won them both. Just said I'm looking at it from Stoke's perspective. So a big W, and I was like, no, we won. No, we didn't win. They won. They won last season, obviously, because I'm sure Klukas scored, which he didn't do yesterday. So
he did nothing yesterday.
Positive. Did he celebrate when they scored? Like, did he do anything towards the Swans fans?
I didn't notice, but he didn't do much. We had one chance in the first half where I thought, shit, he's going to score, yeah. Because he sort of came back to him nice on the edge of the box, but then that was it. That's all I can remember him doing.
Alan Curtis was talking about him in commentary.
Yeah.
And he must have been around the club when they signed him.
Yeah.
I can't remember when he got let go or wasn't involved anymore. But he said something like, we let Jack Cork go for 8 million or whatever it was in the summer, and then bought Sam Klukas for like 12, 15. He was like he basically was like, I have no idea who thought that was a good idea. Like he just couldn't get words to describe that decision.
Yeah, I remember that when he was talking about that.
So I was just like, oh, burn. He's not part of the club anymore, is he really? So I don't think.
No.
Okay, well, it's been. I know you've got to go revise, so we call it a day there. Do you want to give a quick? What do you think's going to happen in the QPR game? We're gonna get our first home win.
I don't know. I'm a little bit more optimistic after the way they played on Wednesday, and I'm hoping the new signings coming in and potentially Obafemi and Piroe staying just gives the whole squad a bit of a confidence boost. Now I think QPR are in good form, so I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna be confident. This is it. They were going to turn the season around. I've been critical so far of Russell Martin. It's his chance now. The players got to be confident. He's got some players in. Let's start the season now and give me 3 games, and maybe I'll be back on his back if it's not gone well. But I'll be confident for a change. I fancy us to win.
So what they said in the preview was 1-0. Nice. We're actually going to get a clean sheet.
No, I thought about that when I said I can't see us getting a clean sheet. Let's do 2-1.
What they said in the preview was that I asked how they're going to play, and he said that they're not going to sit back, like they will come at us. And I was like, well, that could actually play into our hands because we can't
Works for
break
us.
team. If we get the first goal and then sit back, we're done. Like basically. But if you come at us and we can get a bit of space and we can get the first goal, I'm not saying it's game over, whereas it would be game over the other way around because we can still concede late on. But that's what gives us the chance to maybe win the game.
It'd just be great just to have a win on the board, just a good, comfortable 2-0 or something. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what.
I know QPR are in good form.
Right up to mid-table, depending on other results. So I know
that's what happens
days,
in the
but we're sitting
Championship.
by the bottom at the moment, and you just don't want to get sucked down here. The longer you're down here, the harder it is to get out. So,
but that's why I'm worried because he has to. That's why I'm still a little bit worried because he does have to turn it around now. Like we need results now.
Yeah.
I know we've had stuff has happened and whatever, we've conceded late and whatever, but that's got to stop now. Like, and the way we've been playing has been awful. We need to see more of, what we showed in Stoke and the Millwall game. We just need more of that.
Yeah, and then the first 80
minutes. Nice big win now because we've got some hard fixtures coming up as well. So even if you play well, if you play well, I think like in a week we've got like Watford away and West Brom away. I think if I was looking at the fixtures right, we got Sheffield United away midweek. I think after QPR.
I'll have a look. I can have a look at the fixtures
because that's worrying. Because you can even if you're on top form,
Birmingham away is next.
That's right. Yeah, Birmingham away next weekend, Sheffield and then I think it's home. Sheffield United. Oh, home away against Sheffield United.
Yeah, Hull.
So we're home. We're home Tuesday and Saturday in a row. Yeah,
I think they're both Saturdays.
I think Sheffield United's midweek and
Birmingham
Hull is
away is
Saturday.
Sheffield home is midweek.
Yeah,
and Hull is Saturday or weekend. Yeah.
West Hull Brom is on the away, box. Yeah.
Watford away.
Sunderland home. West Brom and Watford 2 in a row, and then Burnley. Fuck yeah.
The three away games in a row. They're not very nice.
Exactly. So you could be looking at serious lack of points.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe we can turn it before then and actually give them a challenge. Okay, well, cheers for coming on. We shall catch you in next week. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Really helps us. And get involved with our little game. Let us know in the comments how many of the players you've got and if you can remember the team from 2012 and the players that basically got us promoted, I think, the first year in the Premier League. But we shall catch you next week. So have a good one.
See you soon.